The origin of mankind.
In truth, no one knows for sure. The origin of the universe is the origin of everything. Multiple scientific theories by notable scientists and theorists from around the world have made plausible conclusions and tried to explain its mysterious genesis. However, the most widely accepted explanation is the Big Bang Theory.
The Big Bang Theory starts when a priest named Father Georges Lemaitre offers his daily devotions in front of the statue of Christ while kneeling at the chapel of the Catholic University of Louvain in Belgium. As he gets up, his eyes wander to the chapel's high windows and the stars twinkling in the early evening light. He smiles in deep thought as he imagines the series of events that led to the appearance of those stars. But despite his religious beliefs, they were lacking a creator so fundamental to the Catholic doctrine. He did not believe in a 7-day miracle that led to the creation of the world. Rather, he saw it as a natural outcome of natural laws and processes that are supported by mathematics, rather than the motions of the heavens themselves. Irony aside, his observation was quite extraordinary. For George was not only a Catholic priest, he was also a theoretical physicist and cosmologist who was captivated by how the ideal universe created by God worked. When Einstein started developing a hypothesis based on the remarkable discovery that space appeared to be expanding, this is when our contemporary knowledge of the universe came into focus.
That hypothesis originated from the Big Bang. It's the story of how the universe in its early stage was compressed with all its mass and energy concentrated into a single infinitely small point, smaller than an atom, which then burst, began exploding, and rapidly growing billions of years ago, resulting in the birth of hydrogen, helium, galaxies, stars, planets, and life. Considering time, it was necessary for the universe to expand at a specific rate and at a certain temperature from this point to its current size over the course of time. It was estimated by scientists to be 13.8 billion years old.
Scientists proved this was true from the Doppler redshift of light that comes from distant stars and galaxies. It is the change in frequency of a wave for an observer moving relative to its source. In other words, it is the change in frequency of a wave between a moving and a stationary object. So, let's talk about the wave. If there's a long distance between two objects, then it results in long wavelengths, which have a low frequency. If the distance is short, then it produces shorter wavelengths that have a higher frequency. The Doppler effect can be applied anywhere, light, sound, you name it, but the redshift deals with it by color. So as an object in space, a galaxy for example, moves farther away from us, the waves become long and have a low frequency. To the naked eye, the object emits a reddish tint known as the redshift. But what about when the object moves closer to us? As the object moves closer, it produces a bluish tint known as the blue shift.
Everything we know about the universe comes from observations of the distribution of wavelengths that we see in the sky and the energy it transmits through electromagnetic energy, which travels in waves from one place to another light. Different information can be gathered from different radiation types and the color emitted by the redshift or visible light. Astronomers can use this to prove the Big Bang Theory and show that the universe is expanding rapidly and constantly growing.
Many years after the Big Bang took place, evolution started, and in 1859, Charles Darwin published his book on the origin of species. In that book, you can find a theory of evolution, which firmly establishes that our species, Homo sapiens, was simply another outcome of the evolutionary process, and how people had evolved the same way as other animals and species. He also believed that evolution is largely driven by natural selection, and that species can change as time passes, with like how our ancestors learned how to walk with their own two legs. In his theory, he suggests that we have a strong genetic connection with anthropomorphous apes, which backs up Thomas Huxley's theory based on the presence of human-like African apes, stating that the last shared ancestors of people and apes lived in tropical Africa before spreading to Eurasia between 5 million and 7 million years ago.
And because of the theory of evolution, some individuals have qualities that are better adapted to their environment compared to others by having those traits passed on from generation to generation. And as a result, no two individuals are the same, making any individual naturally diverse and different. This concept may be apparent now that they have managed to join thousands of other fossil remains that document the underlying course and evidence of human evolution.
Darwin's most significant contribution to the discovery of natural selection has greatly helped scientists in understanding and to help influence the following fields of modern science. The majority of Charles Darwin's findings was based on structural evidence from different species. For example, when studying finches, he discovered that the size, shape, and structure of the beaks indicated the type of food the finches ate, and certain traits are chosen by which variants are present, which can also explain why some species are the way they are. Darwin's take of human evolution was later disregarded because it contradicted people's religious beliefs about divine creation.
In fact, there are numerous creation stories from many religions around the world. They all have different stories and ideas on how the world was created. As of now, we'll tackle the creation story of the most common religion in the world, Christianity, in particular Roman Catholicism, which is one of its many branches. They believe that the universe was created by God. Catholics see God as the creator of everything on earth, including earth itself. In the Bible, it states that God created light in the darkness on the first day. On the second, He created the sky. Dry land and plants were created on the third day. On the fourth day, God created the sun, the moon, and the stars. Lastly, God created animals and very first humans, Adam and Eve. Catholics believe in whatever the Bible says. Therefore, the majority of Catholics believe that God made the universe. Of course, this is only one viewpoint of one of the many different religions in the world. There could be stories similar and completely different to it. But no matter how different they are, they all lead up to one ending: the creation of mankind.
Now, whether you believe in one creation story or another, let's admit that we all ended up where mankind is today. Thousands of years ago, the earliest civilizations existed. Helping those civilizations is a well-known subject we all know today. Geometry was the starting place for all the structures, buildings, and architecture that we see around us. The origins of geometry can trace back up to 3000 BC in Babylonian and Harappan mathematics. With these early concepts and ideas, early civilizations were able to construct their temples, palaces, and other structures. Of course, the concepts they used back then were completely different to what we know now, and we can thank that to the ancient Greeks. They thought of practical and theoretical geometry and furthered the knowledge of geometric concepts, such as the golden ratio, the Pythagorean theorem, and the modern axiomatic system, which are the basis of famous landmarks we know today, such as the Taj Mahal, the Parthenon, and the Chichen Itza.
Many Greek mathematicians introduced new theorems, postulates, and ideas which revolutionized what mankind knew back then. In fact, up until now, we still use those concepts. For example, the golden ratio became the basis of Leonardo da Vinci's Vitruvian Man. The painting showed the importance of human proportions and how health and fitness is important to the human body, which is why the illustration is typically used in the field of medicine. Another example is the Pythagorean theorem. Pythagoras' simple discovery helped in calculating the steepness of mountains and hills, to the navigation, draining systems, and the invention of computer and television screens. Lastly, even though the modern axiomatic system isn't a familiar term to everyone, its purpose can be seen everywhere, from where the sun rises to the way our planet revolves around the sun. Even in the moves we see in chess are included. So, the next time the idea of geometry ever crosses your head, Remember, it isn't just shapes and theorems. Rather, it is something that changed the world we live in and the basis of where mankind is today.
Now, another well-known subject that has contributed to our earliest civilization and today's world is chemistry, the study of molecules and the fundamental units of matter. It is fundamental to who we are and directs our research into everything, from the human body to the earth to food and materials to energy. The chemical industry, which is backed by chemistry research, is the foundation of much of our economic development and adds to the riches and prosperity of society. The initial chemical knowledge that humanity acquired was primarily technological, such as metalworking, ceramics, cooking, and so on. Early civilizations mastered the use of fire, the casting of metals and alloys, the production of glass and pottery, and other skills. Chemistry will be used to find solutions to many issues in the future, including sustainable energy, food production, environmental management, supplying clean water, and boosting both human and environmental health.
Sa pagkakaalam natin, ang pagpapaliwanag ng mga bagay na wala pa mismong napatunayan na tugon ay masasagutan lamang sa pamamagitan ng siyensya o ang paniniwala sa ating relihiyon. Ang mga katanungan na ito ay minsan nagdedepende na rin sa ating opinyon o kung ano man ang gusto nating paniwalaan. Katulad na lang ng pagsisimula ng ating mundo. Ito ay isa sa pinakapalaisipan ng nakakarami. Paano nga ba tayo nag-umpisa? At saan nga ba tayo nagmula? Kaya dito sa aming dokumentaryo, tinalakay namin ang pagkakaiba ng dalawang teoryang nagpapaliwanag ng ating pinagmulan.
Noong 1927, ayon kay Georges Lemaitre na isang Belgian Catholic priest at profesor ng physics, nagsimula ang ating mundo dahil sa isang biglaan na pagsabog ng kalawakan na tinatawag na Big Bang. Ang pangyayaring ito ay dahil sa pagtaas ng density at ng temperatura. Ang gravity naman ang rason ng pagkakabuo ng elemento at unti-unti nang naipon ang mga bituin at ang galaksya.
Dumating sa konklusyon si George tungkol sa pinagmulan ng mundo dahil siya ay interesado at inaral ang law of gravitation na teorya ni Albert Einstein. Sa perspektibo ni Einstein, ang law of gravitation naman ay pinaliwanag na ang kanyang tingin sa grabidad ay ito na iiba ang forma kapag ito ay ibinaluktot.
Dito kinonekta ni George na kung si Einstein ay tama ang hinala, ibig sabihin lamang noon ay ang mundo ay lumalaki pa rin. At noong 1927, siya ay nagsaad na ang paglawak ng mundo ay pare-pareho sa lahat ng direksyon. Ngunit, ito'y walang sapat na ebidensya para mapatunayan, kaya di masyadong pinansin ng mga siyentipiko ang kanyang teorya. Pagkalipas ng maraming taon, unti-unti nang napunta sa realisasyon ang mga siyentipiko na tama pala siya, kaya ito ay sinuportahan ang kanyang ideya.
Nakasaad naman sa pangalawang teorya na ang Panginoon ang naglikha ng sandaigdigan. Ipinapahayag ng Biblia ang istorya ng pagbuo ng ating mundo sa loob ng 7 araw, mula sa paglikha ng liwanag at dilim hanggang sa mga lupa at langit, mga iba't ibang hayop sa mundo at saka siya'y nagpahinga.
Ngayong nailahad na ang dalawang teoryang na pinagmulan ng sandaigdigan, atin ang isa-isahin ang mga detaling maaari nating sang-ayunan o salungatin sa dalawang teorya. Bilang Katoliko, malakas ang paniniwala ng aming relihiyon na ang Panginoon ang bumuo ng ating sandaigdigan. Kami man ay naniniwala sa Panginoon at sa kanyang kakayahan, mayroong pa ring mga bahagi sa siyensya na nagpapaliwanag ng mga bagay-bagay na unti-unti na ring napapatunayan habang lumilipas ang taon. Mga impormasyon o ebidensya katulad ng pag-obserba ng ekspansyon ng ating kalawakan, ang pag-angat ng bilang ng mga elemento, ebolusyon ng galaksya, at marami pang mga sumusuporta para mapatunayan ang teorya ng Big Bang.